I've written a book very recently called India, Science, Politics, Geostrategy. And it's called a 30-year thought journey. Some of you might know that 35 years ago, I was a research scientist, research cum teaching in the University of Hyderabad. I was doing research in a hardcore physical sciences subject, which we call chemistry. So much of my work was confined to the university, the lab, and the classrooms. Now, gradually I found, by the time the 1990s rolled in, I had already been a teacher researcher for 15 years. And then when this 1990s happened, it was a decade of great tumult in India. Because those were the years when the Mandal Commission report was notified, and we started getting into this business of 27% reservations for the OBC categories. So suddenly we teachers found the composition of our classes had varied quite significantly. And this got me to thinking about political matters as they influenced education, science, and research. So my thinking gradually moved from science to science/politics. As the years rolled on, I found that some of these problems which we started encountering with reservations were not going away. In fact, the whole idea between these reservations is to raise the status and enhance the social prestige of classes that had been traditionally ignored or suppressed in our country. But I found, as did many of my colleagues, that the reservations as they were being applied in the university were not going anywhere to solve the problem. And this led me to the second big question. Can we ever have excellence in teaching and research if you also simultaneously want to have equity? So this tussle between excellence and equity is something that has troubled me and bothered me over the years. It's very easy to say, no, we must have this or we must have that. But how can we have both? After many years of agonizing, I felt that it is impossible to have both. And this is one of the things that has been written in this book, Science, Politics, and Geostrategy. From politics, how and why did I get into geostrategy? This is mostly following my thinking post 2014, when we had a new government that started taking an entirely different attitude towards foreign countries, in the sense of making India behave more as an equal in the international community rather than being a subservient country. So some of my later articles on these pieces at this time concerned the geostrategic part. What I have done in this book is to take a collection of 40 of my 150 essays that I have written over the last 30 years and re-annotate them, putting in mind what I think of those articles written maybe 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ago, what I think of them today. So in this book you will find 40 of these articles, and more interesting, my today's annotations on articles that I wrote long ago. And so it's a way of an author to look at himself and see where did he go wrong, where did he go right, and most important, how a person may change his very way of thinking. Believe it or not, I did change my way of thinking on many matters, and I think this just goes to show my flexibility in looking at these things. So if you are interested in looking at the way in which people think, particularly the way in which a commentator like me thinks, you will find certain parallels in this to your own life, because in many cases your way of thinking might have changed over the years. So this is a comparatively light book and published by Garuda Prakashan. It is also being sold in America today for $28, I heard. So it is available in the USA for dollar purchase. It's available in India, I think, for a modest sum, which is something of the order of 350 rupees or something like that. So it's something you can easily buy casually, read casually, and throw it away also if you don't like it. So anyway, happy reading, and if you have any comments about this book, do let me know. I will always reply to any kind of email that is sent to me, including emails that express disagreement with me. Thanks a lot.